never really recognized him, so I'm going to read this. Columbia University, know all persons by these present that Ray Bradbury has been awarded a Pulitzer Prize special citation for his distinguished, prolific, and deeply influential career as an unmatched author of science fiction and fantasy. In witness whereof, it caused this certificate to be signed by the president of the university and its corporate seal to be hereto affixed on the 16th day of April this year, 2007. So here you go, Ray.
Yay!
Well, Bill?
Yeah.
Why don't you introduce this gentleman that just came in right here while we...
What, George Clayton Johnson?
Yeah.
Run, George, run!
He stole Logan's run from me.
We have to make a path between here and there.
I'm one of those, George Clayton Johnson. I'm one of those members, like we have known here, a first-generation Ray Bradbury fan.
Wow.
We were among that vanguard of very, very intelligent people who came to recognize that this was the literary voice of the age. The man who has signed more books than any other living human, any other human being in history.
Wait a minute, I found an unsigned Bradbury, and before I could get it...
I'll give you $1 billion.
No, wait, before I could get to the register to buy it, Ray rushed out of the stacks and signed it.
No, there was a group of us, Charles Beaumont, Richard Matheson. All of us were looking at what Ray was doing. We fell down in admiration. We began to worship at his shrine. He was a young man, and already, when I first met William F. Nolan, he had written a book and had published a book called The Ray Bradbury Review. And it was, to my knowledge, the only complete collected works of Ray Bradbury, if you went to find these stories, which were appearing in magazines like Argosy. I had a collection of Argosy half as long as that wall of these volumes, and in almost every one of them, I found a Ray Bradbury short story. Many of them not Martian Chronicles, many of them very odd stories. Very patiently, I began to steal from Ray Bradbury, and so did everybody else I knew. They all looked at this guy and said, that's how to do it. And they took a Bradbury-like idea and began to mold it. In my opinion, my kick the can is pure dandelion wine. Would fit right into that book. Part of that family of beings and that attitude of mind. And that mind space that Ray and a handful of others out there, Theodore Sturgeon was one, that you would look at what this guy was doing and you would just be amazed at his technical proficiency and with his ability to reach inside of you and get you involved in the story immediately, largely by recognizing who you were. Ray Bradbury did that all the time. Ernest Hemingway did it in To Have and Have Not. He starts his book out, you know how it is, early in the morning in Havana, when you come off the fishing boats and they're sluicing the water on the streets. You can see this and you can see that. My God, you're in Havana. He's treating you like an equal. He's matching you mind for mind. He's not pulling any trickery on you, and he's making magic out of language. And it's magical realism, because that's the first step after realism, which is the art form of the age. And Ray Bradbury can do that trick, but then he can add that quality of the imaginary, because it is the nature of the imaginary to become real. It tends to become real. If you can dream it up, it will happen.
Yes, the back door is open.
Draw a submarine, and some mechanical genius will build it. There will make a little chip. I'll put one on Bill. I'll put one on me. We're in mind-to-mind contact. Now we're into telepathy, and anyone else who has one of our chips is part of the middle group. I'll bet you that happens before my lifetime is over. It's just an incredibly magical world we live in, and it is Ray Bradbury who led the way.